I chose to critique this image taken by Mary Miller because the photograph really captured my attention. It does not necessarily capture my attention in the sense that there is an obvious narrative being told within the image, but the bright colors make it hard for the viewer to turn their head away from the image. Some pictures for this assignment have been a more obvious narrative story to them, like one classmate did a photograph with a little girl in a red cape holding a basket of goodies, ringing the doorbell of a house, which seemed obvious that the narrative represented was Little Red Riding Hood. What I like about this image taken by Miller is that the narrative is not so obvious. It makes the viewer take a deeper look and pay closer attention to the objects, content, space, and subject of the image to try and decode, if you will, the narrative represented in the image. Let me first begin by describing the content of the image to help paint an accurate representation of the image to the audience. I will then explain some of the elements and principles of art and design that stand out to me in Miller's image. In this image, there is only one subject. The subject is a woman who appears to be in her early 20s. She has blonde, straight hair that is cut off by the camera, but it appears to be long in length. Her hair parts toward her right side. On her left side of her face, she has some hair blowing in the wind into her eye. She looks very natural as she has no makeup on, and she looks like she is in the woods. She has light blonde eyelashes and hazel eyes. Her eyelids are half shut because she is looking down towards the ground, with her head still up and facing forward. She has a few freckles and light pink-colored lips that are closed together. She is wearing a silver necklace around her neck that is in shape of a heart with a small white pearl inside of the heart pendant. She is wearing a red shirt. In the foreground of the image, in front of the subject's face, are magnolia tree branches. The branches are thin and brown, but the magnolias are bloomed so they are bright pink, which really draws your eye to the subject. The subject's facial expressions lead me to believe that she is thinking about something serious, or maybe something sad, by the look in her eyes. In the background of the image are bright green bushes and grass with a bright, clear blue sky at the top of the image. There are many elements and principles of art and design in Miller's image. Let me start by explaining the colors. The bright green bushes and grass on the left-hand side of the image really make the image pop. The pink magnolias and blue sky also capture my eye. The magnolia branches are mostly in focus in the foreground, but the ones right in the middle of the image in front of the subject's face are a little blurry. This slight blurriness in the foreground gives the image a little bit of deep depth of field. Although the most obvious is the shallow depth of field within the image, which can be seen by examining the blurry background of the bushes, grass, some branches, and the sky. The majority of the foreground is in focus despite the few magnolia flowers, but the background is completely blurry, which again represents deep depth of field. The bright lighting, exposure, and saturation in the image are also high. The image contains lines because of the different directions of the branches that are going across the subject's face. This really keeps the eye of the viewer moving. Overall, the image is composed very well. The only thing is that I have no indication of what the contemporary issue is or what the fable is, or legend or fairy tale that is trying to be explained in this image.